So I did say earlier you're the fittest mom. So you have a what is it, is it a 4-year-old daughter now or five?
Yeah, she is
Four?
4. Good
Okay.
job.
So and so I'm a dad too. So but like what was it like for your experience like seeing your daughter for the first time?
Honestly, I wouldn't say this sounds horrible, but it wasn't a surreal emotional experience that I kind of expected it to be and how people
Hmm.
hyped it up. I feel like if I go back to that moment, they brought this baby out of nowhere and just placed it on my chest. And I was like, okay, whose baby is this? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
And then it was almost like as each day went on, we loved her more, we grew to love her. But the first experience was not a emotional, I've waited for you my whole life. It was just
Hmm.
very, very different than I expected. What about
Yeah.
for you?
So with Bennett, my son, he's 7. It was like I just saw this like human being coming out, and I was just like, "Holy,
What?
like,
Yeah.
is this real?" Like,
Yeah.
I have a son now, and it was like it was crazy because like my wife had both of them were C-sections, and so
Mm.
and like so like they were having like choking fits because like the fluid and that was like still stuck in their lungs because they when they go out the canal it's like they push all that stuff out
Right.
but they were choking so like literally like we were like obviously like loving to death like Bennett, and it was just like every waking moment he would like start choking a little bit, and like I would have to run up and like pat his back to kind of stop him from choking. So it
That's
was,
terrifying.
yeah, it was, and it was for Sydney too, and it was like crazy because like you would like I would be like both of us were asleep, and then 2 seconds later you hear like, and we're like I run up and like grab both of them, grab one or the other, and like just start smacking their back and like kind of making sure they're not like
Oh,
choking or anything. And then one of the nurses did it one time, and that like really freaked us out.
oh, that's terrifying because even when you're a new parent, you already don't know anything. So to
Hmm.
then have to worry about is my child asleep? Oh wait, are they breathing? Are they choking? That's a whole nother level of stress.
Yep, yep. And it was
How
like
long did that last?
uh probably the first maybe 3 weeks, I think, like 2 to 3
Okay,
weeks.
so even nights. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
we actually my wife bought a pad underneath the mattress of Bennett, and like it would detect of him breathing. And so if he stopped breathing, the alarm would go off. And so we would like hear the alarm once in a blue moon and just like beeline it into the bedroom, and it's just like, oh, okay, he's fine. He's awake, he's
Oh,
breathing. Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, it was pretty
What a way to wake up.
yeah, pretty much. It was crazy, but yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see like every month to month to see their personality kind of grow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like
Yep.
is your daughter more like you or your husband?
I think a mixture of both. I definitely agree with the personality part because I feel like after 3 months,
Hmm.
the first 3 months were hard, adjustment, kind of baby's still small. But after 3 months, it's like, oh, the baby can smile. Oh, she laughs. Oh, she can crawl. And then it's just like been blossoming from there. Um, man, it's hard to say. She has a like a servant heart. So if she one time I was doing a podcast just like this, and she's really quiet in her room for like 30 minutes. I was like, oh goodness, she's either burned the house down or this. And I walk in there and she had just cleaned up. She cleaned up all her toys, and she was just like, "Mom, I wanted to help you out." Just she'll do little things to her. I'm like, your heart is so pure and kind. I I don't know if that's me or my husband, but it's sweet to see.
Yeah. Is there any like sayings that she says that like you only know what she's talking about compared to like everyone else?
We have an inside joke when we like terms of endearment. We'll call each other gooey and gloppy,
Hmm.
and it's just like kind of goofy. But we read a book called Pizza Pat, and it's describing this pizza that's cheesy and sticky, gooey and gloppy. So we'll just be like, "Oh, I love you. You're so gooey and gloppy." That'd be like our code word for "I like you."
That's awesome. That's
Do you
awesome.
guys?
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
well Bennett would always like give me like a kiss on the cheek or like, like be very affectionate and pretty much. And like Sydney, she is so affectionate. She's like,
Oh,
I love you, give me a hug, and then like pick me up, can you carry me? Just stuff like that. And like and she's it's funny because she can't really talk that great right now, and so like her seeing like LOL, like the LOL dolls that are out, like, you know, oh, like can I get an LOL? And it was like LOL, or like this stuff like that. It's like super cute, and like sometimes like
That is.
no one can understand her sometimes, but like my wife and I can understand her, so we're like, okay, she's saying this, and so, you know,
You're the interpreter. How old is she?
she's 4.
Wow. Okay, so she's like my daughter's age.
Yep. Yeah, she was born on August 31st, and my son was born on May the 4th.
What a good birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Star Wars.
International Star Wars Day. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
so funny story about that. So when we found out it was May 4th, my boss at the time was like, I told her, I was just like, oh, my son's born on May the 4th. And she's like, oh my God, that's International Star Wars Day. And so
Yeah.
I was like, what? And I told my wife, and I'm like, Jesus, another door coming into the family.
Did you name him Luke?
No, Bennett. No, we just had to name him Bennett.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
I didn't want to name him Luke, but like one of them. So I'm originally from Massachusetts, and so we were thinking about naming him Harper, and so I did a real thick
Oh.
Bostonian accent, saying like, "Hey, Harper, can you grab me a beer?" And my wife's like, "No, we can't do that."
That's a good test. That's a
Yes.
really good test.
Yeah, like anything with like AR at the end or anything like that, we're like, nope,
Yeah.
can't do it.
It's hard to find names though. I don't know if you guys struggled, but we struggled pretty hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know where we found Bennett, but Sydney. I got it off of Jennifer Gardner from Alias, because her name was Sydney,
Okay.
and so I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
a cute name. So I was like, what about Sydney? And so my wife was like, oh yeah, I like that too. So we just kind of picked that.
That's easy. That's how I didn't have a preference for her name, but I definitely wanted to like the name. And my husband was a fan of Blake Lively, so he kind of combined the two and did Blakely. And I was like, I don't know anybody named that, so that's where we got ours from too.
Yeah. Have you ever
Kind
thought
of
of
a
like
movie.
really crazy names at all, or
The craziest
Blakely?
was Blakely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really liked Callie and Blair, but my husband was not on board. So I was like, we need something we both like.
Okay. I mean, I love
Mhm.
Blakely. That's a great name. Definitely a great name.
Yeah,
Um,
I did too.